Holes in Swiss cheese are desired and expected. Holes in legal contracts, however, are called loopholes, and some party usually stands to lose ground because of them. If you needed to hire a lawyer to draft a vital contract for you, you would want it to be free of loopholes. You'd want it to be airtight, ironclad, right? So what is a personal goal, actually? It's a promise, a contract even, between you and you. Turns out we are all pretty good defense lawyers. Our brilliant minds will search for holes in those contracts or goals. If we find one, it becomes a convenient excuse to break our contract with ourselves and fail to achieve the goal. Consider the New Year's resolution, which is a goal of some type. Why do we notoriously fail at achieving those goals? We make, then break, promises to ourselves all the time. Some of the promises have a short time span, such as, I am not going to snack after dinner tonight. Some promises are longer range, such as, I'm not going to miss one single class this semester. Some promises are distant, such as in, I'm going to get my credit score above 700. Every time I just said promise, I could just as accurately rephrase the statement to begin with the words, my goal is. Now, let's invite our inner lawyer to look for loopholes to exploit in each of these goals. When you grab some organic veggie chips at 8 p.m., you rationalize your action by finding a loophole. That loophole might be, well, it's not really a snack because it's a serving of vegetables. When you skip a class on a wintry day, you rationalize it with, I'd rather miss class than get into an accident because I have bald tires. And when you throw one more outfit from Macy's onto a credit card, you rationalize it with, well, you can't build credit if they don't see you use it. Our inner lawyer is very gifted. Perhaps it seems odd to think of an opponent waiting in your brain, hoping to sabotage your hopes and dreams. If you've ever acted like your own worst enemy, you know this opponent is there. Is there any way to outsmart this voice? In this cartoon, the good news is that this wall is built from a strong material. What would her chances be if it were made of straw, right? We all know the lesson of the 3 little pigs. But there are still cracks in her mortar, and the power of the ocean can exploit even the tiniest opening and collapse the entire wall. What constitutes a crack in a goal? Remember how smart your inner lawyer is. That inner voice will find any cracks and use them as loopholes. Your defense is to craft your goals so that your inner lawyer will have serious trouble finding a loophole. When the way to fail is hard, we increase our chances of success. So, make failure hard. That starts with the proper wording of your goals. Here are 2 acronyms which describe the components of an ironclad goal. DAPS, or SMART, they are the same 5 components. Think of them as the 5 criteria you must include in a goal statement in order to foil your inner lawyer who is looking for a reason to fail. They are not a guarantee, of course, but some loopholes are predictable. So try to make it as hard as possible for your inner lawyer to find any. To begin, put a date on it. Let's be honest, deadlines are very motivating. That's why they exist. Eliminate vague wording. Be specific. Be reasonable. Don't aim for an impossible goal. You can't run before you can even stand up, right? Make sure the goal is for you and deeply personal. Word it as something you will do and not something you won't do. Have a way to measure your progress, a report card, so to speak. How could we plug the holes in the goals I mentioned earlier? Instead of stating, my goal is to never snack after dinner, let's plug some holes. How about, I am going to eat a piece of fresh fruit after dinner, only if I find I am too hungry to fall asleep. As for skipping classes, how about, if my instructor can make it to campus, I will show the same commitment. And the credit score? How about getting more specific and timely? I am going to research the factors that impact my credit score and improve my score by 30 points this year by changing my actions. Your goal statements are the first step on the path to reaching them, not a guarantee that you will. You also need a plan. The concrete steps along the way. But at least you've foiled your inner lawyer, that voice that searches for easy ways out of the promises you make to yourself. Dare to state a goal with DAPS or SMART criteria. Own what you really want, why you want it, when you want it, and how you want it. Then break it into manageable pieces and tackle them one at a time in sequence. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to stand and walk and run and climb and dance." One cannot fly into flying.